to next topic. We got our top five Denzel movies. So top five Denzel Washington movies is a tough one. A lot of movies here.
Yeah, and you know what? I picked mostly old, I guess it's older movies now.
Well, it's tough because we've had our top five actors, and I picked Denzel there, and I'm sure he's in a lot of people's top fives. That just it makes it there's so many movies that they've been
Right.
in when they're one of the better actors out there, and most of those are good. So this was a tough one. I think I'm willing to bet our lists are going to be quite different. One, because there are so many movies, but it's hard to eliminate when you're trying to like take down to the top five.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't think I have any of his action movies.
Oh, interesting. Nice. Well, because he has such such a range, it doesn't even matter, right?
Right.
I mean, and not just his acting range, but his range of movies, like the different styles of movies that he's done over the years. All right, here we go. Number five in the top five, Denzel. So I'll start. I don't know if you consider that when you said action, that kind of threw me off. So I have Training Day here, which I love Training Day. I think he does a great job in the movie. That Ethan Hawke also does a great job. It's a good storyline. You don't often see. I don't know if you ever see Denzel play this part, right? It's just a unique part for him. He plays it well, and overall, it's just a good movie too. It's really intense, and so I took Training Day at five.
I got Mo Better Blues at five. Cool Spike Lee movie with Denzel as a trumpet player or sax. No, he's trumpet, yeah, and Wesley Snipes is saxophone. It's a I haven't seen very many old school movies in a while, but that was one I always enjoyed when it was on TV. I liked Mo Better
Right.
Blues. I'm a big Spike Lee guy, so
Well, and they did a lot together.
yeah,
I think you could probably do a top five just them.
right.
And still your top five would be pretty good.
Yep.
But yeah, it's one of those older movies I always liked. It wasn't a movie though that I watched the same way though. I didn't watch it too many times over and over again, and you could because it's so old. I mean, some of those old movies, we've seen like 50 times now,
Right.
maybe more. All right, what do you got it for?
Four, I've got Training Day. And the only reason it's not higher is because I've only seen it one time. And it's crazy. I've only seen it one time. And when I
Yeah.
watched it, I was like, this is a really good movie. And I actually own it, but I still have never watched it again. It hasn't been, but I just remember it was such a good movie, but it wasn't one that I wanted to keep watching over and over again.
Yeah, you pick up a lot on its mannerisms, when you see it multiple times, which makes the movie even better. But yeah, it's got to be up there, right? It's such a great movie. I'm surprised you haven't seen it multiple times though. That is kind of strange.
Yeah, I know. It is strange.
Maybe it's I mean, it's not the super easiest movie to watch.
Right. I'm not, that doesn't really bother me though, because I watch like,
Right.
the gritty movies all the time.
Well, it doesn't lack that.
No.
My number four, I have Crimson Tide, which when him and Hackman together, it's great. I love that. That's my kind of movie. That's my type of storyline. It's just got enough military with action, with drama to make it, really my type of movie. And it really helps, to have Gene Hackman in the movie too. But I think he plays the perfect. He's not like Denzel in this. He plays the perfect like XO, right? He plays the perfect second in command, and that's just what you would kind of think the two at that time of when the movie was made and when it was supposed to be set. You'd be like, that would be Captain and XO, as just as I had expected to be. And they both really portray that. So I definitely really, and that's one of the older ones I've seen a lot on TV. That's when I'll go back and be like, oh, that's on TV, back when we watched TV.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Number three. This might not be in everybody's top five, but I don't know. I love this movie. I thought he did a great job. And this is Malcolm X. He just really portrays the part, and I don't know. He looks like he just really got into this part and just played it with a lot of passion. And it's a good story, of it's one of those. He does a lot of those based on reality, right? Based on a true story stuff, and he's really good at it. I think he just kills that part. So I got Malcolm X at three.
I have Malcolm X at 3 also. I don't think our lists are going to be too different, Steve.
No, the last two got to be different.
I don't know. I kind of have a feeling they're not going to be. Um, yeah, so like you said, Malcolm X, that was like he played that part so well. Like you could think it was Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Damn mannerisms, everything.
Yep. And yeah, it's like you're watching a documentary. Yeah, it was good. That was really good. I thought he did a great job. But he did a great job in a lot of them, which made this really hard, because he's so good at that, just taking over the character, encompassing the character. All right, well, what do you got at two?
I got Remember the Titans at 2.
And why do you have that there?
I mean, it's one of the best football movies around, and it's just a great story, and it's just a great movie. And he's the leader, and that's why that's like when I think of Denzel Washington. He's tough, but he can be funny, and yeah. So yeah, Remember the Titans at 2.
Well, I guess our lists are a lot closer than I thought. Uh, I remember the Titans at two as well. Same thing, it's like he is the coach. He's exactly who you thought that coach would be, what he'd be like in that time, in what that's happening in that city, and but he has like a lot of range in that movie where it's, he's playing the tough guy, but he's playing the good coach, and sometimes he's the nervous guy, and then he's the family man, he really did a good job of playing that part. And the story of that, it's everybody loves it, and that's a movie I have watched too many times. But I guarantee our number ones aren't the same. There's no way, because this is nobody else's number one but mine.
Yeah, you want me to do mine
No,
first?
I'll tell you what it is. It's Courage Under Fire.
Okay.
And the reason it's not anybody else's number one is because I think, maybe I don't know, but a lot of people don't understand the depth of this movie. There's so much depth in this movie, not just by Denzel as the lead, but with the story, with the people that are in the story with him. But it's just like you have the story of him doing an investigation, and you have the story on top of the story, which is him and his own thing with his own war, with the tanks, and then the story on top of that, which is like then the woman getting the medal in the army at a time when that wasn't right or fashionable or whatever they want to do it, and then the story within the story of it was all a lie, so I mean it's so deep of a movie, and it's played really well by Denzel himself. He plays the character perfectly, but then you've got really good supporting actors that do a great job.
Matt Damon lost like all that weight for it.
Right.
Oh,
Play that part and he plays it perfectly, and then even Lou Diamond Phillips, like you could not pick a better person to play that part as he played in there, right? And so yeah. Oh, and then again, and that's probably nobody's number one list that I looked at and researched, but people thought nobody would ever put it there, but I don't think they're watching the movie right. So what do you got at one?
well, you got me there. So that's not, I know that's a good movie. I was looking at that. But my number one's got to be his first Academy Award and one of his first movies, man. It's Glory. It's got to be Glory. Directed
Yeah.
by the same guy that did Courage Under Fire,
Right.
Edwards.
But he does that with a lot, like Spike Lee and Tony Scott, and a lot of people. But I mean, Glory's great. I mean, how can you argue, how good of a movie Glory is?
Saw it in middle school I don't know how, but we saw it in at the middle school. It
Yeah,
was
we were able to
actually,
watch movies like that in school back then.
yeah. I mean, because I was like, my wife's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, we got to watch a rated R movie. We must have had permission slips and stuff for it.
There was no
Oh,
permission slips, dude. We just watched them. It's not like you went home and you're like, "Hey, I watched Glory at school today."
right.
Yeah, I mean it's a great movie. And it's easily it could be top 5, and I had it on my list. But there's a lot of good acting in that movie, though.
Right. I just for him because it was, because he was in Saint Elsewhere
Yeah,
years, and this was his like he had one movie, The Mighty Quinn, which was, a standard fare movie, and then this movie put him on the map.
yeah, he broke out for sure. Yeah, it's such a good movie too to break out with, and just the performance.
And
Same
just the
thing.
ending just like is a gut punch, but
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely not. It's not easy to watch, but that's he plays a lot of those types of roles though.